Alright, so today I got a little bored. I was messing around with the John Deere 210 this morning. I had to clean the carb once again. I replaced another section of fuel line that I didn't replace from the fuel pump to the carburetor. Cleaned out all of that, made sure the float worked and everything else and the jets were clean. I went and mowed about 2 laps and it died on me. Came back, jump started it, mowed 1 lap and it died on me. So I think the float is sticking in it, so I need to figure that out. I ended up push mowing the rest of my yard. But anyway, this is an air compressor that I got out at Portland out of the trading post a few years back. Electric motor. Everything works fine on it. Everything's free. It's been sitting outside for a little while, covered up. But what I want to do is take off the electric motor and I want to put a gas engine on it. I have one in mind. I have to dig it out and then also make sure it works and make sure my shaft is the same size and everything else. So what's kind of neat about this, it does have an adjustment on it where you can do 50 pounds or 150 pounds based on the slide here. It's kind of seized up at the moment. So, yeah, I need to get a new wheel for it. Probably just get 2 new wheels, so in that way, if this one's starting to dry rot like the other one, I can then replace it. So, that's my plan. So I somehow managed to get this up onto the bench by myself. It was a little bit heavier than I thought. So, I'm going to probably spray this down to get it loosened up so at least this moves, and then I should be able to take the motor off, and then I should be able to then see what I have mounting wise to see whether I can put a gas engine on it. I'm not really questioning whether I can put a gas engine on it. Of course I know I can put a gas engine on it. Just, I need one that's reliable, one that's easy to start, and will run all day without problems. Because, like I said, I'd like to have this as a portable air compressor where I don't have to drag it on an extension cord anywhere. I just roll this wherever and be able to use it. If I wanted to paint a fence or paint anything, I can then use this as an air for an air sprayer. I can also use it for a brad nailer or whatnot. So that's kind of where I want to go with this. I noticed that this is kind of quirked off to the side, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And this was, I believe this was a Allstate. So it is a Sears and Roebuck air compressor, and it has the plate on it, and then it has what is left of the decal. So the paint was really good until, or fairly decent until I decided just to leave it set outside like a fool, but didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I will see what I can do. Another decal that's still on it, which it looks like some things have been replaced prior to me. Cord would need to be replaced, and I like the makeshift cover here for the electrical box. So let me spray this down, see what I got, and then we'll go from there. Once again, another rainy day. Oh, I swear during the week it's never not going to be raining. So, I worked on this a little bit more yesterday afternoon, and I was able to get the electric motor off. Don't mind my mess here. I was able to get this off, and then this thing was a booger to try and figure out how to get off. I sprayed the heck out of it, added some heat, and then let it set for a while, added more penetrating fluid oil, let it set some more penetrating fluid, and finally got it to where that would pop off. I had to put a pry bar on it because that's a straight shaft that goes through that pulley. It's some sort of, what did it say on there? It was a, oh, where did my little thing go? It was some kind of flexible coupling variable speed pulley thing. So this moves in and out. I broke the cotter pin off the end here, so I need to replace that because I'm afraid this thing is just going to fly apart. And so, yeah. So I got that off. I sprayed underneath this thing so this would move. And this helps to put tension on the belt that goes from the motor to the air compressor pump. So I took the bolts out of this plate because it's still a little gunky when I try to move it. And it looks like that may not be the original motor for this because these were drilled and tapped holes where you have these slots, which I would assume were for the original motor. And that would explain probably why it was a little off on angle, but it could just be how the plate moves as well. So I got this bolts taken out of that, bolts are down here, and you can see how gunky this is, hence why I was having such problems trying to move it no matter what I sprayed in there. So I'm going to clean this all up, and those, yeah, those might be original holes because of where they're in the thicker part of the plate. So I'm going to clean this all up. I had a Briggs in mind to put on this on this air compressor, but I don't know if I'm going to use it because I pulled it out last night. Dad thought enough of it to put it on a homemade skid, and it has a different type of clutch, I guess, on the back, on the shaft, and I don't know if I really want to mess with it. Obviously, like I said, he thought enough of it to put it on a skid, so it might be a little unique. I do have a couple Briggs 5S's that I could put on here, which may be what I might go with because reliable. I have one that has a hand ratchet. It's the one I talked about putting on the Chore Master, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do because I'd really like to get rid of the rope start on it and just be able to, you know, start it relatively easy without having to carry a rope around, which is fine. I don't mind rope start, but I just wanted something a little bit different, a little bit more unique. I also have a newer motor I could put on this. I took it off my mini bike. I sold my mini bike frame because it didn't have brakes, and the front tire had a little bit of wobble to it. There's actually a video of me somewhere riding this thing and using my feet as brakes, and you can see the smoke coming off my feet. So there's that. So I have that motor, but that was the one I was going to put on my wheel horse because I had it on there before, and the pulley setup I had, that thing screamed. I was doing wheelies across the yard with it, so I might put that one back on there, but I need to fix the brake on it so that way whenever you shift you're not grinding gears. Anyway, so definitely would have a motor for this. I have many to choose from, so yeah. So now it's just a process of getting this all cleaned up. I'm going to have to drain the air compressor because I know that from the sounds of it, you can hear it. It doesn't sound very lubricated anymore, so I need to drain that. Might have gotten some water in it, who knows. Drain that. Filter is pretty hard, so I don't know whether I need to replace that or not. I don't know what that should look like. And then it's just basically reassemble. I also may need to replace this belt as well. I was able to get the numbers off of it, but depending upon where the motor sits and stuff, I may have to get a larger one. So yeah, I mean, I think with just a little bit of elbow grease, getting this cleaned up and and then I need to get new wheels for it. It would look pretty sharp. I'm probably not going to paint it. I'm just going to leave it as is. And that, so yeah. This would be a nice little unit to take around. And this would also be a nice display if you wanted to do Stirling engines, because then you have your air compressor, and it's also the air compressor itself is a display along with your Stirling engines. So maybe a little bit on the loud side, but so yeah, get this bad boy cleaned up, and then it's a quest to find what engine do I want to put on it. That's the bigger challenge. Because like I said, the one I had in mind has a unique configuration on the shaft, so I don't really want to think with that too much. And like I said, I have a bunch of different Briggs that I can throw on here. I have a couple of... I think I got rid of most of my Rios. And then I also had a couple Continentals. Haven't messed with those. I think I still have those. Yeah. I sold off a bunch of my small engines a long time ago, and I should have never done that. That was my own stupidity, because I was thinking if I could sell them off, buy them, sell them, then I could buy things that I more or less collected. But now I'm looking back, that was a silly thing to do, because I probably sold, it was probably close to 20 engines, so, of Rios, Lawson, Iron Horse, Briggs, Continental, Clinton. What else did I have? I had a Cunningham. I sold that. There's some other ones in there too. Probably shouldn't have done that, but hey, you live and learn, right? I wish in one hand and in the other. So, anyway, get this cleaned up and then we'll figure it out from there.